So Destiny and Dynasty, thank you guys for stopping by today. We know that you guys were on my 6,000 Pound Diaries with Dr. Now. Ladies, first off, you look great. How much weight have you lost? Talk to me.
So our most recent post-surgery weight, we just lost 100 pounds from that. And then a little bit before, we had to lose about 100 pounds as well.
So in total, we probably lost about 220-ish pounds each.
So how are you feeling?
Great. We great. Yeah, we feel great. We feel real good.
We feel like on my feet, I just get out of the bed in the morning, and don't have to worry about them moans and groans and things like that. But
I'm ready to go outside, ready to be outside. Our birthday's coming up, Leo season, so I feel good. I'm ready to hit the streets.
So if you would, ladies, take me back to the beginning of when your relationship with food kind of started and how it kind of transformed throughout the years.
So, I feel like our relationship with food has always been really, really positive and really strong for our whole life because we were born premature. Our grandparents fed us extra. Our grandma would tell us all the time, she feeding us extra because we were so small. And she was 4 pounds, I was 5 pounds. We need to get our weight up. Yeah, so Randy always eat.
And I always feel like food for us was more of like a treat, or like food was a way that our family expressed their love for us. So whoever gave us the most food loved us the most. So my grandma and granddad, they would literally like have fights about how much they were feeding us because they were like, you need to stop feeding them so much. But yeah, we've always had really, really like good experiences when it comes to food, which is something that we don't feel like the show really betrayed as well.
But there's a but. Did that relationship take a turn, or what actually happened to make you actually want to go on that show?
So I just feel like it was really just seeing, the people in our family, not really. Our grandma died really young. She was only 62. She passed away from heart problems and things like that. So, just seeing her, pass away so early, and then our older aunts with diabetes and stuff like that. That was really one of the main things that kind of, I think, made both of us be like, no, we don't want to be like that. We want to be able to, get old and move around and do the things we want to do. So,
and I think for me, it was probably my mom's youngest sister, my Auntie Tara. We love you, Auntie Tara. But my mom's youngest sister, she had just turned 40 and was having severe problems with her back and legs and knees, and like couldn't walk for more than 5-10 minutes. So, just seeing her and seeing her quality of life and remembering the quality of life that she used to have with us when we were younger, it just really kind of made us want to get in there and really handle our weight and do something about it.
So talk to me about being on the show. Whose idea was it and what happened?
That was all Destiny, honey. I'm not really, the type to just be like, oh yeah, let's jump on something. But she got all the ideas. So
yeah, we I think it was a little bit post COVID, not really post, but probably like 2021, 22, 23, around that time. We actually wrote into TLC because we were watching 600 Pound Life and they were casting for another show. So I was just sitting there and I was like, man, we're never going to hear back from these people anyway. So I literally typed up a little email, put some pictures on there and sent it. And probably 6 or 7 months later, we heard back from a producer, and then a while had went on and we thought they kind of forgotten about us. We looked into other alternatives for getting the surgery here in Arkansas, things like that. And then just randomly, they hit us up and they were like, hey, we saw y'all's pictures. We really think that you guys would do really, really well with this program and on the show. So we jumped in there.
Okay, so you get picked for the show. And just from my understanding, I had a relative who had thought about having the surgery, and he would say that his doctor wanted him to lose a certain amount of weight before they would even consider doing that. So talk to me about that process.
So when we first met Dr. Now, we had they came and filmed a little bit, and we got like a little footage around town, like normal life stuff, us eating, what we eat on a day-to-day. And then they took us to go meet Dr. Now. And when we first met him, I weighed in at 6'14", and she weighed in at 6'06". And he was like, y'all have to lose at least 40 pounds in this first, a month or two, I think it was, maybe 2 months. He gave us 2 months to lose 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he told us we had to, get that done before we move forward with anything else, just to make sure that you're able to maintain that lifestyle and, you know, start working on that mental aspect of dieting, I guess you could say.
And even in the show, you'll see kind of like that contrast of like me and Dynasty both, you know, working together and trying to achieve this goal, but then also working independently and trying to achieve our goals as well. So in the show, it's a little bit of a power struggle back and forth between the two of us. But yeah.
Okay, so you lose the weight to have the surgery, and then it's time to actually do the surgery. You make it through. What happens now?
You sit around in a lot of pain.
Yeah. And this was our first ever surgery ever. We've never had any type of procedure, nothing, never been under anesthesia, anything like that. So we're horrified.
Did you go back and watch the actual surgery where he pulled some of you?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So it's a segment in the show. I think it may be on the extended version, maybe on the regular version. I'm not really sure. Where you can see like when they go in and, you know, cut the stomach off, they'll blow it up with gas because whenever they do surgery, like, you know, in your stomach and stuff, everything in there is like really tight together. So they blow you up with gas that way they can see real good in there. And then he filled the stomach up with gas and then he pulled it out in just one big motion. And he was like, that's 80% of the stomach. And I promise you it was huge. Like I didn't even think that my stomach was that big, especially like, you know, just what I eat on a regular day. It was huge. It was really big.
Okay, so that happens, and where do we go from there?
From there, after surgery, so we had our surgery the same day. They pulled me back in the room first. And how long?
It was probably like an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours maybe. And they were like, oh, your sister's out of surgery. It's your turn. I was like, hold on now. Wait a minute.
So then we both go in surgery. And I the only thing I remember is really getting on the operating table, then putting the you know, gas and stuff on me. And they're like, you know, have a good sleep. And I wake up and I see my sister across the room going, and so I'm like, why were you hollering?
Like I kept telling them I was cold. My feet were cold. Like I just woke up so confused and cold. I was like, oh, help me.
And we were actually like a few rooms once we got, you know, stable and all that stuff. And they put us in a room. We were a few rooms down the hall from each other. So we stayed in the hospital for about 3 days.
And then after that, it's an all clear liquid diet for the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
All clear liquids. Like we can only have bone broth popsicles,
which is something I lived off of. Sugar-free popsicles.
When you watch the TV show, you'll know that we love ice cream. And so I think that was the one saving grace. We could have any sugar-free popsicle that we wanted. We could have any sugar-free like juices that we wanted. So we want cranberry juice, like the little Crystal Light packets that you mix in the water. And then I liked to eat drink the bone broth, but she didn't really like the bone broth because everybody's taste buds change after surgery. So once something you may have liked before, you may hate after surgery. Like we got protein shakes that I won't even drink right now because it was so nasty after surgery. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. But clear liquid diet for the next 7 days. And then the week after that, we moved to soft foods. So we can have like mushy eggs and soft meats and cottage cheese and different strained soups, but no solid foods. Yeah. And that was probably 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in that stage alone.
And then you get to move to puree food. And then you can start back incorporating, you know, some greens and stuff like that. Just whatever your body can handle is really up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this. I think this is a pre-diet for the surgery from Dr. Now, and it's called Remember FAT to lose weight.
Yeah, right.
Limit your eating 2 or 3 times a day. Avoid snacking, and remember there is no such thing as healthy snacks.
No healthy snacks.
How did y'all do that?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. We had plenty of cheat days. Before surgery, the day before our surgery, before we flew out to Houston for our surgery, we went to K-Pot and ate the 2 hours worth of buffet. Because I said, I ain't going to be able to do this no more, so I need to go and get it in now. Yeah.
Okay. I got to get it. Got to get it right now.
So how was working with Dr. Now? Just from on the outside looking in, he sort of looks like he can be tough. You know, he can be a hard nose. Were you ever afraid that he would kick you out of the program or send you back to Arkansas? Talk to me about that process.
So I always like to say, that man is 100% about his business. He's been in medicine for 50 years. Like, this is his craft. He knows what he's doing. He holds a world record for helping a single person lose the most weight, which was 800 pounds.
Wow.
So he's very, very serious about weight loss, health, stuff like that. And so they make sure to prove that point on the TV that he's very serious about it. But once he gets to know you and, you get real comfortable with him, going to his office to see him and stuff, I mean, sweetest little old man ever. He's 82 years old, still practicing medicine, still doing 2-3 surgeries a day.
Wow.
He's just so sweet. I remember walking up to him because my granddad passed away in December, and I remember walking up to him and I was like, "You're such a cute little old man. Can you be my new granddad?" And he said, "I already have black grandkids." I said, "Well, yep. All right." But he is seriously very sweet, and he's very, very gracious as a doctor. Like, I feel like a lot of times we see those people on the show that take advantage of his services and take advantage of what he can do. And he is very graceful. And like I said, in the show, you'll see, I hit my goal. Dynasty didn't hit her goal. We went back and forth on that sometimes. And he was always very gracious to us. And he would tell us, "I know y'all can do it."
And like sometimes when you watch the show, Dr. Now has had to actually ask people to leave.
Oh, yeah.
Were you ladies ever afraid that, you might not hit your goal and he might kick you out of the program, or?
I never thought that he would kick us out of the program because I was very confident that me and Dynasty were going to complete it. But I did always have that fear that he would kind of be like disappointed at us and shaking his finger right and like, you could have done more than that.
And I remember when we went for our 1 week checkup, we had already lost like 25 pounds in 1 week because it was just all straight liquids, nothing, we couldn't do anything.
That was a clear liquid diet.
And so we were like, "Wow, that's a lot. That's that's really good." And he said, "Oh yeah, that's about right."
It's what's expected. He was like, "Yeah, that's expected." Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so how long did the taping last? How long were you there?
We filmed, this was probably about the span of 8 months. They would come down here to Little Rock. The producer would come up from Austin. They would come to Little Rock and film us around, doing different things, working, all that kind of stuff. And then we would go out to Houston with them. So we went to Houston probably 4 or 5 times in that time frame for a different checkup.
But the entire process without the filming, the stuff that we had to do behind the scenes was probably about a year or so long. So
Wow. So the show is over. How are you ladies holding up? Are you still following, some of the things that Dr. Now taught you? And talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I feel like we still are really good with his diet and stuff. So he recommends like you weigh your food or like measure it out, like in the palm of your hand and stuff like that. And so we're really good about doing that, and then sticking to eating just 1 or 2 or 3 meals a day. We usually only eat 2 because our stomach is literally like the size of they compare it to like the size of a small banana after the surgery. Wow. And so it's still really hard for us to get in everything that we need sometimes. But we still working on. Yeah, we're definitely still losing. We haven't even hit our goal yet. Our goal is to hit 200 pounds post-op, and then Dr. Now is going to actually do our skin removal surgery where he'll go in and remove all the excess skin that we'll have on our arms and stomach and stuff like that. So that's our next part of the process.
Wow. Ladies, you guys, you ladies really seem like you're excited, like you're turning a new leaf. What's been the hardest part about all of this?
I think the hardest part for me is just the mental journey that you go through with someone like me and Dynasty. Like we've been overweight, we've been plus size, we've been obese literally all of our lives. Whatever age bracket we were never at a normal, healthy weight for our age. So for me, I feel like it's a mental thing because I don't really know what it's like to not wear a 3X shirt. So it's very different. It's very different seeing the world differently and seeing how the world even sees us differently.
Wow. So what else can we expect from you ladies?
My sister makes music, so you can expect we make plenty of music from my sis.
Yeah, new music coming out for our birthday next month. And then my sister has a podcast. My sister has a podcast that she's working on. But yeah, we're always here. We're always around and always social and out and hanging out with friends and things like that. So.
And your goal weight is?
We say, Dr. Now says 180 pounds,
but I just feel like that's too little. Coming from 600 pounds to 180 pounds, I'm like,
that's crazy.
Somebody got to wait now.
So we got to fix. My personal goal is 200. Yeah, got to be 2 something, do something. And I'd like cut it off right there. And that should be good for me.
Okay. Another question, my last question. What type of advice would you offer someone who may see this about why they should continue with their weight loss journey and why they should think about having the surgery?
I'll say my first thing is that you have to get your mind fit before you can get your body fit. Because you can lose all the weight in the world, but mentally, if it's not there, then it'll never be there.
Yeah, and with the surgery, even before you have surgery, because the surgery helps you by removing the part of your stomach that makes you feel like physical hunger, so like sends the hunger pains and stuff like that. So we don't feel physically hungry anymore, but it's just the mental challenge of, okay, I feel like it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I need to go get a coffee and a breakfast sandwich and stuff like that. That's definitely the hardest part. So once you've kind of, lose that mindset that I have to eat just because that's what I feel like I have to do, and you really start changing your perspective to using food to fuel your body and be able to go and do and, enjoy life, then I feel like you can really step into the process of, okay, now let me, have weight loss surgery. That way I can continue this same mentality and get to where I need to be. So,
And I'll say my last one is for people that are considering the surgery, do it. To do it, for one, yes, do it. But then also, surgery is not the easy way out of losing weight, because we've seen plenty of people get the surgery, lose the weight, gain it back. Getting the surgery, losing the weight, and keeping it off and maintaining a healthy lifestyle is really the ultimate goal. So.
Okay, well, Destiny and Dynasty, thank you, ladies, so much for your time. Now, when you reach that goal, you have to come back by China 7. We want to see where you're heading, and we know that the future is bright for you, ladies. And thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, Ryan.